Okay, so December 2016, my son was 6 months old and he had been through a really hard birth. He was in ICU for 28 days. I was no longer able to go back to work. I was in a bad situation as far as being involved with somebody that I shouldn't have been with. I was at a church seeking help, finding out, if there was somewhere I could go, a shelter, somewhere that I could get my son in school so that I could start working again, just to get out of the hole that I had dug once again. And they referred me to Life Hope, and it was the start of something very, very beautiful. So growing up, I'm biracial. Mom was white, my father's black. Childhood was like just always chaos, always fighting. Parents constantly fighting, no support, like just always alone. I was raised in Lake County, and in late 80s, early 90s, biracial, especially mixed children weren't, really the thing. So I was always called names, told my hair was disgusting, and, my skin complexion, all kinds of abuse, physical, emotional, just childhood was dark. My mother was killed when I was 10. So stemming from a childhood and just a life of just chaos, it was a complete turnaround for me.
I first met Whitney at in January 2017 at the Belong seminar, which we now refer to as Belong and Grow. We just began talking and had so much in common. I had a 6-month-old, and it's our first child. We were really struggling with being new parents, and to meet a single mom who had a child the same age and 2 other kids, I just really felt like the Lord was saying, this is your people, this is your person.
Climbing out of that mess, I met Barbara Gritter, Rebecca Lang, Marty. There were so many people here. We got baptized immediately. Like, I knew that's what I wanted for my kids. I just didn't know what I was about to be prepared for. And then I got more into being devoted here, like coming, listening to the word, and then volunteering because I felt like I needed to kind of grow spiritually.
For the first time in her life, I think she started choosing to overcome things even when she felt like she wasn't responsible for the outcome. A source of frustration for Whitney for as long as I've known her has been that she and her 3 kids are in a 2-bedroom apartment with one bathroom. I don't know the exact square footage, but I know it's tiny.
So when I came to Northland, I was in transitional housing, and the lease was for 6 months. So every 6 months when it would be time to look for somewhere to stay, financially I just couldn't afford it. So I was on that whim of, it's coming up on the 6th month, let me go look for something. And I drove by Longwood Elementary. There was a refurbished, or like they had rehabilitated some townhomes, beautiful. And I thought they were gonna be for rent. I didn't know it was Habitat, but I saw a sign. And I called, and it just said there was a waiting list, there was no funding, etc. That was July of 2017. March of this year, I got an email to come to an orientation for Habitat, and that was where everything opened up for me.
When she told me that she was accepted as a home partner with Habitat for Humanity, I was just ecstatic for her.
It's not like a lot of people assume where you're just given this house for free because you're in poverty, etc. You put in 150 sweat equity hours. You volunteer at a restore location. You can go to a construction site and do work on different build sites, which are homes for other people. There's been a community within Habitat as well as Northland that is just open arms, full-fledged, like completely. I can see decorating their rooms. I can just feel like the weight of the world coming off my shoulders. You know what I mean? And then Habitat's actually really great because the mortgage isn't something that I'm not gonna be able to afford. It's gonna be something where it's gonna allow me to be able to save and give my kids things, finally, like save for college or save for my daughter that'll be 16 soon, her first car. It's gonna be great. knowing everything that happened in my whole life, period, before coming to Northland, and I speak on Northland because I truly feel like that was when I didn't have to straddle the fence. I literally came here and was just me, and I was accepted, and through all the changes, still accepted. Just facing all the adversities from the past, and now knowing where I am today, moving forward, knowing I don't have to be that person, and he's providing for me, and he's, instilling things in me that are giving me that encouragement, and I know it can't come from anyone but him.